What's going on, Sky Squad? We are back in the building. And we got a little bit of, early Saturday morning tea. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes maybe that's the best time to have some tea is bright and early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So here we are with the news. Okay. Coming from our people over at Tamara Tattles, we have an exclusive report coming from them with regards to all the drama that went down at that good reunion taping for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Some things I had heard, and then some things that were seemingly confirmed in this report. So the link in the description is down below so you guys can read it for yourselves. Now, we also got to talk about your girl, Eva Marcille, because she is back on the scene with the gangster lane, but she got a new gig. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. But let me know where you guys are watching from. Drop that location down into that good chatterization because I want to see where my people are. You know what I'm saying? I see New York is in the house, New Jersey, Louisiana. Where we going? Chi-Town up in here. I thought I saw Barbados up in the house, okay? Stone Mountain, Georgia, okay? Charlotte, North Carolina. We got H-Town. We got Portland, Oregon. Perth, Western Australia up in the house. Detroit, London up in the place, Freeport, and Cali. Thank you guys for being here. You guys could be anywhere in the world this morning, but you chose to be here, and I'm super excited that you did. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and stage dive into the news. We got to talk about your girl, Eva Marcille, okay? Here's what's going on with your girl, Eva. Now, she has been casted and is going to be starring in All the Queen's Men on BET Plus, okay? Now, here's what's going on in this series. So it's going to premiere this summer. Now, BET Plus will open the doors to Club Eden, which is the fictional home to the hottest and most sensual male exotic dancers in the country. Now, this is based on a popular book, Ladies' Night, created by Christian Keys, who also serves as a writer for this. Now, this is going to be a 1-hour drama centering around the life of Marilyn Madame DeVille, played by Eva Marcille. Now, Madame is allegedly a fierce businesswoman who is at the top of her game in the nightclub industry and surrounded by a band of trusted employees who are down to make sure that she is successful. But Madame, a self-proclaimed boss, soon discovers that more money and more power means more problems. Will Madame reign as she navigates this dangerous and sexy society? Will the sensuous world of exotic dancing cost Madame her queendom and potentially her life? Apparently, this is going to be 10 episodes that are going to drop this summer exclusively on BET Plus. Okay? Now listen, shout out to your girl, Eva Marcille. I ain't mad at this at all. I mean, now, a lot of times people are real critical of the Tyler Perry and his works. Thank you for the super chat, Tanya. We appreciate you so much for that. People can be a little bit critical of the good Tyler Perry's work because, in the past, we have seen some instances where maybe the quality assurance wasn't the best. Y'all know what I'm talking about, that Netflix show, okay, where she was, the lady's wig had changed midway through the scene. But what we cannot hate on is the opportunities that this man tends to give, people of color. He creates opportunities. He writes stories for us, and I can't hate on that. And I can somewhat understand his desire to do it all himself, because I feel like when you got that creativity that lies deep within you and you want to tell these stories, you just can't help but try to do everything yourself. I'm like that myself now. And I'm slowly discovering that it would be better to build and grow with a team. You can't do everything by yourself. Anyway, that's just my little message to y'all about Tyler Perry. But regardless, at the end of the day, I'm excited for Eva. I didn't feel like Housewives was the thing for her. And I think that now she's able to be free to go and venture off into other endeavors that make a lot more sense for her. So I'm excited about it. I'm really, really excited about it. And I'm still paying for a BET Plus membership for some reason. So I guess now I'll be able to watch it. Okay, so there you go for that. Let's move on to this good. Oh, y'all watch that? Do y'all watch the Oval and Sisters? One of my friends, Lodrick, we ain't really friends like that. We knew each other back from years ago. Anyway, he's on the Oval. Anyway, long story short, I just saw somebody talking about it, so I just decided to bring it up. Anyway, let's see here. Let's go ahead and get into this exclusive tea from Tamara Tattles. Okay. Now, again, we've placed the link for this story down in the description down below. So make sure you guys click the link and get all the tea, because I'm going to give you the highlights, but you can actually read up on how the ladies got to the reunion, where it was taped, and all that good stuff if you get down into that link. So make sure you do that. What we're going to talk about today, so that you guys know, is the report on who brought it and in what order. Okay. Now, this is, to me, the real meat and potatoes of it. You know what I'm saying? What we really want to know. So we're going to run down the order in which their source gave them, okay, in order of who brought it the most. Now, before we stage dive into it, okay, if you ain't read the article, what I want to know is who you think brought it the most. Just write down the name in the chatterization before we get down into the thing. Go ahead, write it down. Give me your best guess on who you think brought it the most at the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. Come on, give it to me. Lay it on me. Give me a name. Lay it on me in that good chatterization. I want to highlight a few names. Okay, we see Kenya. We see Porsha. We see Kenya. Oh, Ruthless was the reason why I started watching that show, why I got BET Plus in the first place. Okay. And then I discovered that there's a little raunch. Okay. Kenya, Porsha, LaToya, Kenya, LaToya. I'm seeing a lot of Kenyas. I'm seeing a lot of Porshas. Okay. So we all know who the ladies are that read down in this group. And we know it's Kenya and Porsha. Their reads be so like epic each reunion. It's kind of what we look forward to at this point, especially now that we ain't got Phaedra up in the building. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get down to it. Yeah, that Ruthless is something else. Let me just tell y'all that. Anyway. Okay, so let's get down to it. So apparently number one on the list, according to Tamara Tattles, is your girl Porsha. Okay, so apparently Porsha brought it the hardest, the baddest, and the bestest. Okay, so this is what is being reported. Now, when it comes to the Bolo situation, she's allegedly being reported as saying she's a grown woman. She could do whatever she wants. Okay. And also that if they did do that's between the two of them. Okay. She apparently went kind of hard at Kenya about why she wanted to know so much about what was going on down to the room. Okay. And then the next target on Porsha's list was your girl Marlo. Now, here's what things get crazy. Here's what things get real crazy. Apparently, from what we get right here in this report, it was said that she told Marlo she need to let the peach holders carry the show because she doing double the work for half the pay. Okay. Now that sounds like something Nene had said back in the day. She told Kenya, and I don't know if y'all remember this. Tell me if y'all remember in the chatterization. Do y'all remember when Nene told Kenya, you doing all this work for $2.50? But then, you know what I think? When I went back to try to watch it in the rerun, they had edited that out. I feel like that's what I think. I feel like they had edited that out back in the day. I got to go back and try to watch that reunion. I got to figure out which one it was. But I do remember her telling her that she was working that hard for $2.50. Okay, I see. Did anybody else remember hearing that? Darren said, I remember that. Okay, good. It wasn't just me. So yeah, double the work for half the pay. It's also being reported that your girl Porsha was best dressed. That don't really surprise me. Porsha tends to really bring it at the reunions. But so does Cynthia. I mean, actually, all of them kind of all like tend to bring it. But a lot of times we tend to remember Porsha's outfits, from the crowns and stuff like that. So this is not surprising to me. But the other thing that was kind of like interesting was that apparently when asked who she considered to be like one of her, her actual friends on the show, she only said Shamia and Drew. So that doesn't shock me either. Now, the person that brought it the next hardest was apparently your girl Kenya. Okay. So she went at your girl Porsha. She also went at Drew and LaToya. Okay. Apparently it was told to Drew that nobody wanted her in the group in the first place. Okay. And that she was doing Drew a favor by even acknowledging the girl. Okay. That's what she said. So there's that with regards to Drew. It's you could tell throughout the season that Kenya, it didn't seem like she really respected Drew that well. I felt like she felt like I'm gonna give this girl a chance, but from the onset, she was kind of critical of the way Drew had came on the scene. And, to be fair, Drew is an actress. And I'm not saying that actresses don't know, but what I am saying is that for some actresses, and I know some like this in Hollywood, for some actresses, and this could go for actors too, so I'm not just talking about the ladies. For some actors and actresses, they rely heavily on stylists, who are contracted from either, for either events or for the role that they're going to be playing. So they're relying on the production to really shape how they look. And outside of that, they have to remain malleable so that they can go into their next look, looking however they need to look, right? So I'm assuming that in Drew's regular life, she probably was not as concerned about how she was looking, and that bled into filming for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I don't think she realized how much she would have to step it up in this world, because the reality world is much different than the world of acting, where things are taken care of for you a bit more. And when you're not in the spotlight because you're not working on a project, you can just be how you want. Y'all know how we all look when we all sitting around the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to me because, again, she's in Atlanta. And so, the ladies definitely came for her when she first got on the scene. And I felt like she was trying. So anyway, I digress. The other thing is with Kenya and LaToya, apparently there's some acknowledgement that she thinks that LaToya might have been doing a lot just for the camera time. Okay. And then allegedly, okay, we're being told that Kenya was specifically asked, will she or Mark file for divorce to end the marriage? And there was never a real answer as to whether or not she would actually be ending the marriage or how it would end. Now, according to Tamara Tattles, production has not been able to find a marriage license for Kenya and Mark in this regard. So there's that. Now, but I could have swore Kenya had produced something before, which kind of like at last season's reunion. Didn't she produce something before at the reunion? She brought some paper. Does anybody remember what she brought? She brought something to the reunion. It was some paper, and I cannot remember what it was. Can somebody let me know? Yeah, it was at the season 12 reunion. I'm looking through the comments because it was an island marriage certificate. She brought her marriage license. She said the marriage certificate. Danny, get off my screen. Danny said she waved the paper around. I cannot remember what it was. It was, y'all, you know what? I'm getting out the comments. I'm getting out the comments. I'm getting out of the comments, y'all. I'm getting out of the comments. Somebody said it had a stamp on it. Okay. Anyway, I gotta. If I was to read all y'all comments, I would be taken down with laughter. Okay, because y'all silly. Y'all know y'all silly. Y'all know y'all silly. Okay. Anyway, y'all know who the third person that brought it was, according to Tamara Tattles. Your girl LaToya. Okay, your girl LaToya. Now, the tea is here that LaToya used to call Kenya with plot lines to go up against the girl Drew and Porsha. Okay. And so apparently when that didn't work, she started flip-a-flopping. She started going back and forth betwixt, Kenya and then the Porsha camps. Okay. So her and Drew got into it as well. I don't really know. There's some speculation that she may not make it back for next season, even though the people felt like she brought it the third best. So I don't know. But what we do know is that there is going to be much talk about LaToya's own escapades with the pastor coming up. We have that coming up. And there was some other scandalous tea in this report about her allegedly admitting to doing the do with some other men behind the husband's back. Okay. Now, these are the allegations. Now, I don't know. Apparently, those scenes were cut. So I don't know, man. On the surface, I'm here for LaToya's all over the place, but I'm not here for someone who is just purposely trying to stir up trouble. It would be different if you were just kind of ignorant, like a Ramona. I think Ramona is on New York is just ignorant. Like, I think she just lives in her, her Upper East Side world, and she does her Upper East Side things, and she's clueless to the world around her. And that also makes her messy, right? But I don't feel like that's the same with LaToya. I feel like LaToya is definitely in her own little world, but it seems a little calculated, if that makes any sense. So she is, okay, somebody said that. She's a wild card. I saw that. And yes, LaToya actually does have a new YouTube channel with the guy that she's dating. So the Vaughn guy, they do have a YouTube channel together. So you guys can check that out at your leisure as well. Okay. So go on over to the YouTube and you guys can see them and watch them work. Now, the person who brought it the fourth best was your girl, Drew. Okay. Now, apparently, she went in on Kenya. Okay. She gave LaToya the business about calling, that lady's apparently about calling the lady a monkey with big lips from her YouTube video from years ago, and about LaToya tweeting about her husband, Ralph. Now, with regards to Kenya and Drew, here's where things get spicy. She apparently said to Kenya Moore to make sure you get a refund with regards to her marriage to Mark Daly. Not a refund. Not a refund. Oh, Lord. You know, everybody got a lot to say about Kenya and her marriage to that man. It just seems so, I don't know, man. It just seems so crazy. But anyway, that's what she said. She told her to get a refund. Now, apparently, the next person that brought it was your girl Marlo. Okay, she's ranked at number 5. You know, she talked about, you know, how she was trying to, I guess, they talked about how she was trying to be, you know, kind of political in this situation and play both sides of the fence, you know, not trying to really rattle the cage or do anything with anyone. But she apparently does reveal that Porsha gave her an ultimatum that it was either to be friends with her or to be friends with Kenya. Okay. And she apparently ended the reunion on a we'll see how things work out kind of note. Okay. Now, the last 2 people on the list, okay, in order of who brought it and who didn't, according to our sources over at Tamra Tattles in this exclusive, number 6 was Kandi. Okay. Now, apparently she played it kind of safe. And, you know, I think people wanted her to say more about the Bolo situation, but she did sort of get a feel for, or she did kind of really communicate that she didn't understand why Kenya was so interested in outing whomever did what with the Bolo. Okay. Now, to me, and I'm going to jump back on the screen for this. To me, I feel like Kandi, this is just my opinion. I feel like Kandi had a responsibility to sort of remain neutral in this situation because the event was her event. And it technically is kind of like an extension of her dungeon brand and the dungeon tour and the dungeon business. And, you know, the thing that she said at the beginning of the night that was what happens in the dungeon stays in the dungeon. So I just kind of feel like it would be more on brand for Kandi to just kind of remain silent about it because this was her event. You know, she's the one who brought this stripper in. So to me, it's kind of like, you kind of got a responsibility to uphold the anonymity of the goings on, you know, at the dungeon. But that's just me. That's just me. I wish that she would have done a better job of communicating that, but you know, it is what it is. And then apparently the next person that brought it, it won't even Cynthia. Here, according to Tamra Tattles, it was Shamia. Listen, y'all know I love me some Cynthia, but I mean, just come on now. So apparently Shamia brought it, you know, the next to last best. You know, there's some talk about her potentially being bumped up to an official friend. And you guys know that Shamia has declined to ever become a full-time housewife. And I think that's probably, you know, fine for her. My hope is that she never, what happened to Tanya never happens to her. Because, you know, Tanya had always been declining to accept the full-time role, but she was definitely treated as full-time when it came to storyline because she was always at the center of controversy, specifically with regards to her relationship to Paul. She suffered through all of that and only did it for half the pay. My thing is this, Tanya girl, you're a businesswoman. You should have got all your coins for all that pain and torture, but apparently she's living a good life right now. So maybe it just wasn't even worth it in the long run. So, so that's the reunion tea. There is more tea if you head on over to tamratattles.com. You'll find out, how the ladies got there, where they filmed at, all those sorts of stuff like that. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys the highlights of it and also tell you guys where to get more information. So please visit tamratattles.com for that. Does any of this shock you? To me, it doesn't shock me. I kind of figured that. Right, she is. she's just, Cynthia's a good time. If you ever have the opportunity to have a conversation with her, I mean, she's just a breath of fresh air, and she just kind of seems like not really here for the drama. I'm not shocked that, again, Kenya and Tanya brought it the most. I'm not even shocked that LaToya was so high on the list because LaToya provided a lot of content. Unfortunately, I think she painted herself into a corner where now no one trusts her. And there's probably even, I think, a little bit of speculation that if the information wasn't released to the blogs by Kenya, that it might have been LaToya. So I don't even know that she has any friends left on the island at this point. So we'll just have to see, what happens and how much of this actually plays out. But this is the word on the curb. Okay. Someone said, how can we see your interview with Cynthia? I will actually go back and place it in the description field after I get off of this. Questions was, did Fallon come to the reunion? No, she did not. She was not invited to the reunion. But, Fallon, honestly, she gave us this moment here, which I will never forget. Okay. I will never forget this moment as long as I live. And I don't know if it was the run through the kitchen or if it was the snake on the floor for me. But there's something about this scene that exists rent-free in my head, and I can't escape it. And Fallon will forever go down in Housewives history as an icon simply for this moment right here. Okay. Now, I don't know what she was going to do with that golf club. Don't know what she was going to do with it. But is Fallon going on the New Orleans trip? I didn't see her in the scenes. I think we have about 3 to 4 more episodes left as well from the season. So we still got a couple more weeks, probably at least 7 more weeks of show, because we'll have at least 3 to 4 episodes left. And then we'll have probably a 3-part reunion. I can't see it being anything less than 3 parts. She says we're going to smash them windows out. You guys. I'm reading y'all comments. Y'all are so silly. Anyway, just thought I would bring you that. When new tea gets reported, we gotta come and talk about it. I just like having this little community with y'all so we can laugh and talk about the episodes. Someone asked that I like Bell Collective. I'm gonna get into probably Bell Collective likely tomorrow, because I want to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville tomorrow as well. So I'll probably do both of those recaps tomorrow. And Love and Marriage Huntsville I think this is the season finale tonight. So there'll be lots to talk about. And, Melody has done interviews with Funky Dineva and Dr. Heavenly, which I need to go back and watch to see exactly, everything that was discussed there. I'm hearing that the divorce is final. So it seems like it's going to be interesting. And I will be interested in seeing how they move forward on Love and Marriage Huntsville, especially now that Martell and Melody are no longer together. But I guess since they still have to co-parent, I guess we can still see some interesting stuff there. I do want them to add another couple to Love and Marriage Huntsville, because I think it would help round out the cast a little bit more. And I want to see more of, do we see Destiny's husband at all this season? I feel like we never really saw that much of him. Let me see. Let me see if I see anything else that you guys may be asking that I want to comment on real quick. Okay. So, guys, I think that's it for now. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I do thank you guys for participating in today's chat. Oh, somebody did answer a response. No, Destiny husband not on there. We need her to talk to us. Yeah, I haven't seen much about him. I keep seeing, am I going to interview Melody? I don't know. I mean, a lot of times if I do an interview, it's either that I was hit up to do the interview. So somebody will, maybe a publicist will come to me and say, hey, do you want to interview so-and-so? Or we would love for you to interview so-and-so. So that can happen. Or I will reach out to someone and say, hey, I have because it's usually that I have some questions that I want answered. And I know that if I have questions, y'all might have questions. So then I'll schedule the interview that way. So with regards to Melody, to answer that question, I guess it depends on if I have any more additional questions to ask after watching her interviews with Dr. Heavenly and Funky Dineva. A lot of times I feel like if if somebody else out there who's doing interviews has already asked the best questions, I will just refer you guys to those interviews because I want to also support those other channels and the information is already out there. But if there's some other questions that maybe I felt like weren't answered, or if they specifically came to me, then I would do it, So that's why. So I don't know. I hope I answered that question well enough. Yeah, so I felt like, and this is so I felt like when you have that type of if the interview is good, then hey, let's go watch that interview. And I feel like there's no need for me to ask any additional questions because, Funky probably asked all the best questions. And I know my brother, he gonna ask again, right, Velda? He's gonna ask them hard questions. Okay. And sometimes it's nice to let another person's interview breathe, right? I did an interview with Larry Reed. I did it earlier this week. And then I also know that he did an interview with Tasha K. So I want to let their interview breathe and let's rock with them and see what they're talking about and let us enjoy that interview. And then, I'll probably put that out a little bit later. Just because I want, y'all know I like everybody to let everybody win. Let everybody have a good time out here. It's so much of us out there that it's so much great content out there. And I think it's nice when we can all be supportive of each other and refer people to go watch this and go watch that. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I agree with that. I think that he would definitely be a great host for a reunion. I would interview Kimmy. Now that would be an interview that I want because Kimmy and Marceau right now are technically my favorite characters on the show. Okay. First of all, Kimmy has always been my number one favorite, but Marceau, who I did not really care for first season, I really liked him a lot this season. I really liked him. Someone asked, do I think that there will be any accountability for the Basketball Wives production editing? I doubt it. I doubt it. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's so easy I think it's so easy to be supportive and want other people to win. It's just a good feeling when you go to sleep at night that, hey, you know what? I did everything I could today to to support the next person out there. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I want to live my life. I gotta go find that. Someone said Kirby Jersey says, yes, Marcel groomed me too, like the interview he did on Fox Soul with Reality Husbands. I gotta go check that out. Yeah, he was comedy all season long. Marcel and Miss Wanda are comedy gold. Let me tell you, they are comedy gold. I'm gonna work on Kimmy. I'm gonna work on that. I just like her. I mean, I just think she would be fun, and I just have so many questions for her. With that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow morning with Love and Marriage Huntsville review, as well as we'll follow up on Bell Collective as well, just to kind of give you guys my final thoughts on the reunion. There were some things that I didn't realize was going to happen, and issues that were going to come up. So we got to discuss those. With that being said, guys, make sure you stay locked onto the channel. And I hope that you guys have a banging and beautiful Saturday. Okay. Y'all know I love y'all, and I will catch y'all in the next video.